right, so it's,
Maybe 5-paragraph essay.
so it's 9 o'clock, we can start. Legally, folks, we can't start earlier than we post, so. But anyway, good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, November 7th, 2019. We're meeting for our weekly community development hearings and deliberations and any updates. And I am calling this meeting to order, so I'm going to ask Mary if she would please lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. And so attending are Commissioners Duncan and Filios. Commissioner Bill Brooks has a medical appointment, but I imagine he'll be joining us shortly. I am polling for potential conflicts of interest.
None.
And none for me.
And now we
Mr.
need to-
Chairman,
We have a change.
we need a change to agenda to formally add item Roman numeral 7 to the agenda.
So
Okay.
I move
Go
that
right
we
ahead.
add Roman numeral 7 to the agenda, which is an executive session.
Okay. And I will second that. And do we need an explanation, Pat?
It'd be under Idaho Code Section 74-206, 1F, to confer with legal counsel on a matter that's either pending litigation or imminently likely to be litigated.
Okay.
My motion's been amended.
And I will therefore second.
Bill Brooks is excused. Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Filios?
Aye. And the motion is carried to amend the agenda. So then, we will move on to our deliberations, and the first one is case number CUP 19-0005, Windmills Storage, a request by Todd Hughes for conditional use permit for mini storage and rental warehouse on a 10-acre parcel located approximately 600 feet northwest of the intersection of North Daisy Lane, Prairie Avenue, in the agricultural zone. So Ben, would you lead us, please?
Yes, absolutely. Good morning, Commissioners. As Commissioner Phillips mentioned, this is a conditional use permit for a storage facility. The applicant is Scott, Todd, and Jenna Hughes. The project location is just north of Prairie Avenue on Daisy Lane. Here is the submitted site plan from the applicant. Just a basic project overview is, again, 10 acres in the agricultural zone. The access would be a new approach off of Daisy Lane, which is a private road. The applicant has mentioned that the maximum storage units would be 750. However, they feel it's unlikely to actually get to that many, but that would be the maximum that they'd be requesting. In addition, there is an on-site office or a caretaker's residence. And then they do anticipate to have some outdoor storage of boats and RVs as more of an ancillary storage to the storage in the structures. The subject site is a platted lot within Country Lane Estates. Lot 11 here is, you'll notice that on the north of the property there is a 60-foot access easement on the plat. However, it's not clear on the plat who it's actually dedicated or reserved for. We did solicit comments from the Highway District, and they have no need of the access easement. And so the applicants have expressed interest in eliminating that easement, but with the proposed site plan that they've demonstrated here, they're at least showing that they will comply with the access easement as existing. However, if they decide to move to eliminate that access easement, then they've submitted an additional site plan showing it eliminated and still complying with all the setback regulations and so on.
Okay.
Again, the project site is located in the agricultural zone. Here's just an overlay of the site plan on the zoning map. Let's get an idea of kind of the general character of the area. To the south, of course, is an existing storage facility, also approved through conditional use permit. Here's a Google image, just giving a general layout of the site as well.
Sorry, can I just,
Yeah.
so the storage is not there yet?
This is an older photo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, if I go back.
Right, so
to-
that's what,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. This is a
Okay.
newer photo, and there's
Gotcha.
actually more development from this point here, but,
Okay.
That's fully developed.
Okay.
yes, yeah, just to give an idea of what the character of the area is
Sure.
like. The
Yeah.
comprehensive,
Oh, sorry, that development is also storage units, just to let you know, that had been
Okay.
previously approved at the CUP.
correct, thank you. The comprehensive plan designation is transitional, which is meant to promote or reserve future annexation. The subject site is located in the shared tier of the coordinated ACI. The application did go to the appropriate cities for comment. None of them had any objections. During the agency review, none of the agencies that received the application for review had any objections, only had some requirements at the time of development. We had 0 public comments received for the request. And hearing examiner recommended approval, compatible with the surrounding area, also compatible with the comprehensive plan of transition.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to.
Yeah, can you simply review the conditions established by the hearing examiner?
Yep, sure. What did you have?
Was there anything of particular concern? I mean, it looks pretty straightforward, but,
No, I don't think there was anything of concern. These were actually the conditions recommended by staff. The hearing examiner didn't see any issues with those and forwarded them in their recommendation.
okay. Leslie, questions?
No.
Okay, I can see compliance with landscaping, okay, and there's some other items, okay.
I guess actually my only question is, on one of your maps, it shows one resident. Is that all that's near there?
Yeah, there is. Let's see. I don't know which one. Use this one, I guess, here. So I think this residential use here as well.
But
Other than
nothing
that-
down Daisy Lane?
No, I think actually the majority of these properties are all owned by the same owner.
Oh,
And so
okay.
And no structures on them currently?
correct.
Okay. I have no further questions. Motion?
I move that we approve case number CUP 19-0005, Windmill Storage.
And I second.
Bill Brooks is excused. Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye. And the motion is carried. Case number CUP 19-0005 is approved. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Okay. Do you want to pause while you guys bring the other one up? Okay.
I've got it here.
And that's Lone Mountain, right? Okay then, so we're moving on to item B on our agenda, which is case number MSP 19-0004, Lone Mountain Estates, 4th edition, a request by JT Holdings LLC for preliminary approval of a two-phase major subdivision consisting of 40 residential lots on approximately 211-acre parcel in the rural zone. Go ahead, Ben.
Yes, thank you. Again, this is a preliminary application for major subdivision, Lone Mountain Estates, 4th edition. I do want to make a correction to the staff report. There was a typo, and Commissioner Duncan actually brought this to our attention in the recommendation. It says 10 residential lots. It should be 40 residential lots. So I just wanted to make that correction for you. Again, this is Lone, sorry.
No, go right ahead.
This is Lone Mountain Estates, 4th edition. The applicant is JT Holdings LLC. The project site is located off of Ramsey Road, kind of northeast of Rathdrum. Project overview, again, 40 lots over 2 phases in the rural zone. Access to the subject site will be, again, new approach off of Ramsey, which is here to the west, and then they'll also be getting access from the south off of Prominence. The internal roads will all be public, dedicated to the highway district. They will be served by individual septic systems and drain fields, and have domestic water provided by a public water system. Here is Ramsey here to the west. It's an older photo as well, but this is already constructed. This is Massive Road, and Prominence would be around that area. Here you actually see Massive as it exists. Prominence here, it's kind of fuzzy, but that's the layout as the parcel would allow. This is the aerial image, again, overlaid with the preliminary plat. During the agency review, again, we had no opposition from the agencies, only conditions at time of development. We had some recommendations from Idaho Department of Fish and Game, again, just to incorporate some language for rural development in their CCNRs, which the applicant is willing to do that. The public comment period, we received 3 public comments, all of them in support. HE recommendation was for approval, also compatible with the surrounding area and compatible with the comprehensive plan designation of country. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
That one little section where there's an existing home.
Right here?
Yeah. Do we know if they were one of the in favor comments? Did we hear from them at all?
I could find that out for you if
I have the public comments right here, so.
No.
I don't recall the owner of that property at the moment. I could
Okay.
look at our GIS software, pull up that owner information.
I don't think it's that crucial, so, yeah, see, that's an LLC, that's Timber Ridge Homes, and then Grant Forest.
And so the builder is Timber Ridge Homes?
Correct.
And these are 5-acre minimums?
Correct. Yep, all of the lots do meet the minimum requirements of the zone.
I'm fine.
I am too. Motion.
I move that we approve case number MSP 19-0004, Lone Mountain Estates, 4th edition.
And I second the motion.
Bill Brooks is excused. Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye. Motion carried for case number MSP 19-0004. It is approved. And we'll move on to our third item for deliberations, and that would be case number PUD 19-0002, Blackrock PUD amendment, a request by Archstone LLC for final application to amend the Blackrock Plan Unit Development to increase the approved dwelling units from 376 to 389 for a total of 13 additional dwelling units. Go ahead, Ben.
Yes, thank you. Yes, again, this is PUD 19-0002. It is a final application for the Plan Unit Development Amendment at the Club of Blackrock. Of course, the project site is located just north of Rockford Bay in the Club of Blackrock. So basic project overview, again, as Commissioner Philios mentioned, the request is to increase the dwelling units within this existing PUD from 376 to 389. There's 679 acres, 538 are zoned rural, 141 are zoned restricted residential. The request comes from Archstone, which They are owners of, and it's kind of hard to make them out here, but there are 3 platted lots in this location. They would like to, in the future, submit a condo plat for 16 units. Of course, that would require the additional dwelling units within the PUD. And so that is the ultimate intent for the amendment. Here's just a brief overlay of Blackrock boundaries. Just as a recap, PUD 19-0001 was the preliminary application in which the board did approve the request on August 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the final application is before you. Staff has recommended approval based on the preliminary conditions of approval that being met or will be met. The required findings for a final PUD are as follows, so pretty brief. Staff again does find that the application meets the procedural requirements and also the preliminary conditions of approval.
Just out of curiosity, how big are the lots?
They range in size, of course. I think in general they're about an acre in size to about a half acre.
Okay.
In general.
Okay.
But not that 13 new ones are going to be part of that condominium.
So this isn't a request for additional lots at this point. They're just additional dwelling units allowed
Right.
within the PUD.
Right.
What they're going to be doing is submitting a condo plat,
Right.
which will
Later.
Yeah.
later. Yes, correct.
Okay.
And so we're not proposing any new lots, just the ability to create additional dwelling units and stuff.
Motion?
I move that we approve case number PUD 19-0002, Blackrock PUD amendment.
And I second the motion.
Bill Brooks is excused. Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye, and the motion is carried, so case number PUD 19-0002 is approved. And that concludes the deliberation segment of our meeting this morning. So thank you, everyone. And I guess at this point, I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive session.
We have
David had
a
business.
Simpson first. Simpson.
Oh, forgive me, David, I skipped over one. Community development, I'm sorry.
The existing, that was good. Yeah, that was, we started there. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so we're moving on to the business segment, which is Simpson Lumber Company Boundary Agreement, a discussion item. Go ahead,
Just wanted you to
David.
be aware, this is one of those all too rare moments where it's a win-win for 7 property owners, the county assessor's staff, the county recorder, our legal counsel, myself, and our county surveyor have all been involved. And everyone agrees to fix this almost 50-year-old problem. It all started because Simpson Lumber wanted to start doing tree logging in an area where they weren't sure about their boundaries.
Okay.
They did the right thing. They came forward, they talked to the property owners, they talked with us. For 3 years, they have carried the burden of hiring their own surveyors, reaching out to the 7 people on that letter that's in your file, the different property owners. Talked with them extensively, had back and forth with surveys, brought us in public meetings out there. I was out there twice, so was Joe Johns. We've also reviewed all of their documents. Pat has made sure that the process has been clean. The real central issue here, just to take away so you know, is that little pinkish square dates back to some considerable time, and it was this division that started all the improper further boundaries, because that location is wrong. You'll see on another map we can pull up in just a moment where it should be. But what happened was every surveyor after that pink spot used that as the starting point, and then every other boundary after that had problems. So
So it was just a compounded error, if you will. So Ben, if you mind pulling up the other map, if you memorize where that pink is for just a moment, and then kind of a snapshot, here's how it changes fairly
Latour.
dramatically.
Yeah.
And so that consequently adjusted everyone's boundary lines. The usefulness of that, though, is that now places where the boundary actually split through a house, or, I won't waste your time, has all now been resolved. The owners agree, the Simpsons agree, everyone's, to my knowledge, happy. It's going forward within the next few days, if I remember right. November 8th.
Oh, tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
For recording, and we're done. So
Wonderful.
again, it's one of those rare win-wins, just wanted you to be aware of, and nice thing about departments working together.
Okay. So
Good.
this is the new agreement
Uh-huh.
map.
Correct.
So that little pink box now,
Is where it's really been all this time, it's just that it wasn't mapped
Oh.
properly.
okay,
So, you know, the weirdness is people in the real world knew this all the time, and were
right.
living it. And the real property lines, meaning fence lines,
Yep,
were there. It's just that all this time, it's never been mapped right
okay.
in the county records.
So does someone live in that little pink square?
I don't recall, but I maybe, and also,
Hmm.
you can see if you look closely, there's structures
Yeah.
scattered throughout
Yeah. Oh, okay,
there. Yeah.
Okay.
So cool.
great.
It is cool. Every time, anytime everybody wins, that's a good thing. Okay. So we're done?
We're done.
Okay, so that concludes the business segment.
Thank you.
And at this point, thank you, everyone. We can entertain a motion to
Yes.
enter into executive session.
I move that we enter into executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-2061F.
And I second the motion.
Bill Brooks is excused. Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye, and we're entering into executive session with Civil Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Pat Braden and our Director of Community Development, David Callahan.